Do I regret getting a breast reduction? Was it the right move for me? Are there any things I wish I'd done differently? Hello, welcome back to the channel, it's KB. And it is almost been a year since my breast reduction, and I wanted to touch base about it because so many of you have DM'd me and commented on my video saying you inspired me to get my breast reduction and kind of asking me questions. So I wanted to touch on that because it is such like a thing that's like not commonly talked about. But I actually was reading in the New York Times the other day that breast reductions are really rising in popularity, and I love that women are doing something that makes them feel more comfortable. So I'm just going to talk about how I'm feeling almost a year later, my regrets, the things I'm happy about, the things I wish I knew before I had the surgery. And excuse me in advance, I don't have on makeup today because I'm just having like a really bad skincare week. So, you know, I hope this is a safe space. Let's get into it. So let's talk about how I'm feeling almost a year later. So I can say with like 98% confidence that was one of the best decisions that I ever made. And you're probably thinking, what's that other 2%? I'll get to it in a second. If you didn't watch my first video, I kind of like got a breast reduction on a whim. I was always complaining about my back, and I have really bad arthritis just like due to other like health issues. So part of that is my back hurting. So I always thought that like most of my back pain was because of that. So I was like, oh, I don't need to get a breast reduction, whatever. And my sister-in-law, she was like, get a breast reduction, get a breast reduction. Every time we go shopping and I'd be like trying to buy a shirt, she'd be like, get a breast reduction. And there was like this little person in my ear constantly being like, girl, get a breast reduction. And I was like, I'm never gonna do that. I don't wanna do that, da 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 da. Then she bullied me enough or coerced me enough, whatever you want to, it's like that word seems negative, but I really don't mean in a negative way. It was obviously really beneficial. I ultimately went to a consultation. I went to Bellissimo Plastic Surgery here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I do recommend them. They didn't pay me. I paid for my own surgery. So I feel the need to say that. And he was really cool. He made me feel really comfortable, or as comfortable as you can feel taking your top off for like a complete stranger. And I scheduled the surgery same day. Like I met him, they had an opening, and I did it. And I'm so glad I did what I did because we actually got pregnant like literally that IUI cycle. So it would have been really inconvenient after that point in time. So I'm glad that I did it when I did it. Let's talk about the 2% of me like regretting it, or, you know, not feeling confident about the decision. Now, I will talk about like the healing and all the things I use and all of that good stuff. Something I didn't realize is that like wearing normal bras is going to hurt for a really long time. It's almost been a year. I still don't wear normal bras. These bras, I have it on right now, but I was like, I'm not gonna pull my shirt up to film this YouTube video, I'm gonna get flagged. But these, I think they're Hanes. I think you get a pack of 2 for like $10 or something like that. These are still the only bras I wear. I'd honestly, like I feel more comfortable going braless and just putting on those little petals. I have those, they're amazing. Than putting on a bra with wire or like a traditional sports bra because it's really, really uncomfortable. It's not painful anymore, but it's super uncomfortable. Like I don't like how it hugs me. It hurts my back. Like it makes me honestly feel like I have big boobs again when I put on like underwire or a bra like that. So that's something I wish I knew. Maybe it's just me. Like, I don't know if that's like a general thing. Something else, this is like totally TMI, but obviously, when my breasts were humongous, like everything pointed down, like south, right? Like everything was pointing down, and my nipples are always hard. Like it's just what I'm like, right? But that was fine before because they were always pointing down. But now I look like I have on one of those Kim Kardashian nipple bras every single day. And like it doesn't really bother me, but I can always see people looking at my chest and I don't like that because it's like distracting. So that's something else I wish I'd known. I'm not sure there's anything he could have done about that, but it is what it is. As for like the recovery, like you saw that in like part 1 of the vlog, but I was not mentally prepared for it. Physically, like obviously I was really uncomfortable with the drains, but like physically I can't even remember the pain. I know it hurt, but whatever. Mentally, like sometimes I look at my chest and I'm like, is that you? Like it's crazy, but also I can't remember what my boobs looked like before. I mean, I obviously have pictures, but I'm like, wow, I can't imagine ever looking like that. I'm so grateful for how I look now. But the fact that I look like a cone head, but on my chest for like quite some time after I got the breast reduction was such a total, it was too much in my head. Like that was the huge like catalyst for my tears and my upset and some of my regret. But I'm going through some of the comments you guys have left on that video. so that I can like answer your questions. So people are saying that they're really, really itchy. So I was super itchy. I had ice packs on 24/7. That really helped me. Something else I also had were the scrubbies. I talked about those in my last video. That was the only way I was able to get myself really clean and therefore not so itchy with the entire process. I watched tons of TikTok videos and people would say, oh, like, I took my bandaging off and like the first week, you're not supposed to do that. Keeping everything packed, even though you're itchy, is like really, really important for healing and all of that good stuff. Something else I like was not prepared for was like how long it takes to heal from lipo. So not everyone gets lipo with their breast reduction, but I had a lot of like side fat. Because again, my breasts were like massive. I think it was like an H or something like that. And they were literally down to my belly button. So I had a lot of side fat here. And this still hasn't healed. It's healed, but like it's still a little bit tender. I still have to rub it. And it's not flat. Like it's not flat. I'm not giving Real Housewives. I'm giving like my side fat is not proportional to my breasts, if that makes sense. I'm not like looking like skinny Anna. So I don't look like as snatched as I thought I was gonna look like in tube tops or whatever, but like it is what it is. I'd also have to like lose additional weight for that. It's just not something that I had thought about. I also hadn't considered the scarring like on my sides. I didn't use any scar treatments and I actually scar really, really horribly. And my scars, I still have bruising from it a month later. I mean, you know, almost a year later, but I have inflammatory issues that make it really, really difficult for me to heal. And I need that medicine to be able to do my job and feel comfortable. So it's just kind of a sacrifice that I was willing to make. But scarring is there. And like I said in my first video, like I'm really confident in my marriage and my relationship, but I feel like if I were out dating, I would feel a little bit self-conscious of the scarring. With, you know, if I was just out on the prowl or whatever it is people call it these days. Something else I think you should know before you get breast reduction surgery is that if you're gonna travel, you're gonna get swollen and it's gonna be uncomfortable. So if you're getting on a plane, like it's really important to wear like more of the compressive bras that like you got for the beginning of surgery or the one that they sent you home with. Wear that when you're traveling so that you can be a little bit more comfortable. It also takes a really long time for you to feel comfortable laying on your chest. I lay on my chest periodically, but not often. And it's almost been a year just because it just feels different. Maybe it's just because I don't have enough cushion and it's uncomfortable. It's not painful. It just like, there's discomfort. I wish I had better adjectives to kind of describe like how I feel throughout all of this process. Another thing I wish I knew this, but like I wasn't super proactive about it, is you need to massage your breasts when you get them done. So you need to massage the scars so that, you know, the scars heal really well. I didn't do that right here on this one, and you can still see my scar. Like you can see the scar on this breast, but not this one, because I did a good job of this one, but this one I was like, I don't want to. And this scar did go up a little bit higher because this breast was bigger. So had I massaged that, I think this one would look better, but I am really, really happy with it. This is another thing I wish I knew, which like I knew in my head, but like if you are getting a breast reduction, your breasts are not going to look like you got a breast augmentation. So when they finally heal, when they no longer look like cone heads, they look like fake breasts, right? And like personally, I really like the look of them. Like I love boobs that are so high, you're like, it looks like you're being held up by a string like Pinocchio. I personally really like that look. Your breasts after your breast reduction are not going to look like that after 6 months. They rest like really normal boobs, which is amazing, and they look really, really natural, like those are the boobs you like had all along. But mentally, I was like, oh my gosh, they're sagging already. Oh my gosh, they already look bad. Maybe I'm eating too much. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. Yeah. So just know that they're going to settle and start to look more natural, kind of like they do. Like, remember that American Girl book that we all got when we were younger, like Becoming Myself, like here's what happens to the female body when you get older, or at least I had it. Your breasts very much so just look like that, as opposed to like Pam Anderson breasts. Food for thought. Again, something like I knew, but I didn't know, and I was uncomfortable with the change. Like, I'm very happy now that my boobs like aren't all the way up here, but I did like the look temporarily simply because they'd just been like near my belly button before, so I was like, woohoo! But honestly, that would make it really hard to buy clothes and things like that. Something else that I wasn't prepared for is like how I see my body differently. So obviously when your boobs are really big, your stomach looks flat in comparison, or it looks flatter in comparison. My stomach is kind of my problem area, so I see it a lot more now, and I'm a lot more aware of it, and I think I'm honestly more self-conscious about that than I ever have been. So that's been a motivator, I guess. I've been exercising more and things like that, but it's also just been like an adjustment. So you do have to think about your change in proportion. I also really had to ease myself back into exercise. Like I met someone who was like, I got my breast reduction and then I was back at work the next day. It wasn't like that for me. My body doesn't heal easily, and like mentally it really took a toll on me. So I didn't start exercising again for a little bit, and I was able to start doing Pilates, which I love. And I will say that I'm stronger than I've ever been. I think I'm able to appropriately engage my muscles and appropriately do exercises for the first time in my life. And I've definitely gotten stronger. Like you guys know, I had a weight loss journey. I did like a year and a half of personal training 3 times a week. I was eating my protein. I was doing everything. And I feel like I'm still stronger now and more toned now, that I can really better move my body because of the lack of like chest baggage than I ever had before. Like I'm able to lift things, I'm able to do what I have to do. I really feel like a strong woman, if that makes sense. But all of that being said, I'm going to show you in a PG way what my breasts look like now, and I'll try and do some comparisons. When I was trying to like look back at photos, I didn't even take good before photos because I was so embarrassed. Like I took some with like my shirt off completely, which I'm not going to put on the internet obviously, but I was so embarrassed and so uncomfortable that I couldn't even take them appropriately. But I will show you now. Oh my gosh, before I do that though, let me talk to you about sizing. So I used to have to wear like a 2X size shirt. I can comfortably wear like a large or medium shirt. At like a Lululemon, I can wear like a 6 or an 8 size shirt as opposed to like the biggest size that they sell. I'm able to like shop, like however you feel about fast fashion, that's fine, but I can now shop fast fashion and like straight sizes, whereas I couldn't before because my breasts were too large. Obviously my stomach is still pretty large as well. That didn't magically go away, but yeah. Would I ever get plastic surgery again? Probably not, because any of the plastic surgery I'd probably want to do would involve like a drain, and like the drains were like my worst nightmare. Like when I have nightmares, it's about those drains. So I would never ever do that again. But I'm really, really grateful that I did this, and for me it was worth every penny. Like everyone around me seems to think that I'm like much happier in myself. I feel like my fashion sense has evolved. I feel like I can appropriately like express myself. For so many years I was like, I hate dresses, I hate wearing this, I hate wearing that. I think I was just uncomfortable in my body. Like my fashion sense has like really evolved during this time, and I feel like I can really look on the outside the way that I feel on the inside, and that's like a really beautiful thing that I honestly never thought that I'd be able to do. But I'll show you what I look like in this little bra, and then I'll show you what I look like in a dress, like a low cut dress without a bra on, so you can kind of see like where things sit and kind of what the change is having done that. Again, I started at around an H, and now I can wear like a double D in a Victoria's Secret. So think about that. Victoria's Secret, they like have them, they make the sizes bigger than they actually are. So like it'll say double D, but it's more like a D or a C. I can wear like bras from Target now. So I think I wear like a D at Target. I can also fit into a C. So my breasts are significantly smaller, but really the height is really what did it for me, not so much like the size of the breast itself. But let me show you the reveal, because you're like, okay, lady, I hear what you're saying, but like, show me if it was worth it. So let me put on my dress, or let me show you with the bra, and then I'll show you in the dress. So this is what I look like in just like that bra that I told you was an essential post breast reduction. Again, this is the bra. I wear these every single day. I don't wear any other bras. And if I do, I'll wear like the pasty things that have like a little bit of lift. I can link those down below as well. But this is what I look like from the front. You can see what you can see. This is me from the side. This is me from the back. I used to have a lot of back fat right here, and now that's gone. I still have back fat here, but I mean, what was he gonna do about that? You can see the sides. Here's the other side, and then here's the front again. So this is what I look like. I feel pretty happy with it. I just can fit shirts so much better, but let me show you what I look like in a dress with no bra on at all. So this is me in a dress that I wore for like Prime, like when I was in Vegas with Amazon, and here's me in the dress. You can see like this, I think this is like an XL, and it's definitely too big in the chest, but this is what I look like from the side, from the back, the other side, and then the front again. Something else people like in my life told me, they're like, I had no idea you had a tattoo in between your chest, because no one could ever see it. But I do. You've never been, like, babe jokes that we've only ever been able to see south. We've never been able to see northwest or east. So now we know all the different directions, which is true. But yeah, this is what they look like with no support whatsoever. So again, a really normal, like, natural hanging height. They're not like, they were literally right here. Like he drew on my stomach and you could see where they sat. I'll put the picture up on the screen, and like it was literally right here. So this is where we are now. Let me clip this on. So this is where we are now, and then that's where we were. So this is a lot more natural. And I'll say, like, when I first got the surgery done, we were kind of like up there. So from up here, Pam Anderson, to here, and this is where we started. So I feel really happy about it. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the pain, the money, the emotional toll, all of that. And I would do it time and time and time again if I had to. If my breasts get big again, I'm not sure I'll ever have another breast reduction, simply because like I feel like my family, like I don't know when we're gonna have bandwidth for like me to be down for the count like that, but it was worth it. So as I said earlier, I will put the links to everything I use, my surgeon, all of that down in the description box. And honestly, it means the world to me that some of you trusted my recommendation to get a breast reduction, and you can DM me anytime you want, and I'll answer any question you have about this. So DM me on Instagram, leave a comment here on YouTube, and I'm here to be like your bestie when it comes to going through this process, because it's a really personal thing, a really difficult thing to talk to people about who don't have big breasts. And yeah. It was life-changing. But thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, smash that subscribe button. I'll be honest, I don't talk about things like this all the time, but I do vlog, I share home deals, and I think I'm relatively funny, you know, for someone who talks about interior design. So if that seems up your alley, smash that subscribe button. But if not, if you're just here for the one time, I was very happy to have you. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.